For question number 3, we have an inequality. H plus 462 is less than or equal to 936. On this problem, I wrote a couple notes that we can use to ask ourselves. Number 1, is H alone on its side? So right here, we're going to have two sides. Here's one side, here's the other side. What I'm asking is, this side, does it only have H? And the answer is no. We also have plus 462 with it. So now I'm going to go to step 2. Is H and 462, or are H and 462 connected through multiplication or through addition? And if we look right here, we can see that they're connected through addition. So now we're going to go to step 3. How do we undo that? So how are we going to undo the addition? The answer should be, we're going to undo it with subtraction. So to get this H by itself, we have to get rid of this plus 462. To do that, we are going to subtract 462. Now I'm going to go over to step 4. Did we do it to both sides? And we haven't done it yet, so I know I'm going to have to subtract 462 from this side as well. After I subtract, what I'm going to be left with is H is less than or equal to 474. Now we're going to take a look at the last note. Do I flip the sign? So remember, the only reason we would flip this inequality sign is if we were dividing or multiplying by a negative number. In this case, we just subtracted, so we don't need to flip the sign. So it should be H is less than or equal to 474, which is answer choice B. On number 4, we're finding equivalent expressions. So what we're going to do, it's going to be a little bit different from one of the earlier problems, number 2, where it told us what to replace the variable or the letter with. On number 2, it told us to replace B with 8.5. On number 4, it doesn't tell us what to replace R with. So this is what we're going to do. Step 1, does it tell us what to replace R with? No. If not, what should we replace R with? And the easiest number to replace R with is going to be 2. So every time we see R, we are going to replace it with the number 2. So when I replace R with 2 in the first expression, what I'm going to get is 3 parentheses 2 plus 2 parentheses 2 plus 7. I know if I'm doing the order of operations, I have to do the parentheses first. So what I'm going to be left with is 3 parentheses 2 plus 2 parentheses 9. Now I know that multiplication is going to come before the addition. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 9 is 18, and that is going to equal 24. So I have to find which one of these expressions will come out to 24. So on answer choice A, what we have is 3R plus 2R plus 7R plus R. So if I replace R with 2 in each of these, what I'm going to get is 6 plus 4 plus 14 plus 2. Now if I add all of these up, I'm going to get 26. 26 is not the number that we needed to match with originally, so I know that this answer choice is incorrect. On answer choice B, once again, I replaced R with 2. So now we're going to solve. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 7 is going to be 16. Once again, that does not match up with what our original expression came out to. So that answer choice is incorrect. If we move on to answer choice C, once again, we have to do the parentheses first. Then we can do the multiplication. 6 plus 28 will give us 34, and that is not the number that we started with. Lastly, on answer choice D, we're going to do the parentheses first. Now we have 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 times 9 is 18, and 6 plus 18 is equal to 24. That is the number that we originally started with when we replaced the expression, the variable with 2. So that one matches up. That is our correct answer. Number 5, which expression is equivalent to 3 with an exponent of 2 plus 2 exponent of 3 times 4 exponent of 2? Once again, I'm going to write PEMDAS over here so I know exactly what steps I need to take in my order of operations. First thing I'm going to look for are parentheses. In this expression, there aren't any parentheses, so I can move on to the next step, the exponents. This exponent does not mean 3 times 2. What it's saying is 3 times 3 plus, this is not saying 2 times 3, this is saying 2 times 2 times 2 times, this is not saying 4 times 2, this is saying 4 times 4. So what we're going to have is 3 with an exponent of 2 will give us 9, plus 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 4 times 4 will be 16. So what we're left with is 9 plus 8 times 16. Our next step is figuring out what's going to come next, adding or multiplying. Since multiplication is on a higher level than addition, we're going to do 8 times 16 first. So we're going to have 9 plus 128. And we add that together, we get 137. So our goal for this problem is to find out which expression will equal 137. All right, answer choice A says 2 with an exponent of 4 times 10. So once again, this is not saying 2 times 4. This is saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 10. So we're going to start here. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, and times 10 is going to be 160. That does not match up with the 137 that we need, so that is not the right answer choice. Answer choice B says 5 with an exponent of 2 times 3. So once again, that is 5 times 5, and then times 3. 5 times 5 is 25, then times 3 equals 75. So that is not the 137 that we needed, so that is not the correct answer choice. Answer choice C says 2 with an exponent of 7 plus 9. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, times 2 plus 9. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. And 128 plus 9 will give us 137. That is the number we started with, so that is going to be our correct answer. Now we're going to check D just to make sure that is incorrect. Instead of 2 times 6, this is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. Then plus the 4 will give us 68. That does not match up with the 137 that we started with, so that is incorrect.